Welcome to Shanti Peace for Mathematics. So in my previous video, we have talked about the bilinear transformation. The bilinear transformations are defined as T of z is equal to az plus b upon cz plus d, where this AD minus BC is not equal to 0. We also talked about its fixed point of this bilinear transformation in my previous video. Next step is to develop a specific type of bilinear transformation which maps three distinct points in extended z plane onto three distinct points in the extended w plane. For this purpose, we introduce a concept of cross ratio. Now, what is the cross ratio of the three different points in extended complex plane if you consider as a z1, z2, z3 as three complex numbers in extended z plane, and the cross ratio of the four numbers z, z1, z2, z3 is defined as z minus z1 upon z1 minus z2 into z2 minus z3 upon z3 minus z. So you just observe that how I have written this expression. First I have written this and then this, then I have written this and then this. So what is the procedure is to write down, it is a cyclic order you have to take. The z is z1 and then z2 and then z3 and then again go back to z. So it is z minus z1, then z1 minus z2, that is here, z2 minus z3 that we have here, and the last one is z3 minus z. So in that manner you can just remember to write down. If any of the number, this z1, z2, z3 or z is infinitive, that means if z3 is infinitive, let us take in particular, then this expression can be write as in this manner: z minus z1 upon z1 minus z2 into z2 upon z3. So what I am doing is I am just commoning out z3 from this bracket, and the denominator is also I am commoning out z3. So it is 1 minus z upon z3 we can write, and in the front we can take this limit z3 tends to infinity because it is infinity. So now what will happen to this quantity will tends to 0 and this quantity is also tends to 0. So finally what we get is z minus z1 upon z1 minus z2, and due to this minus sign we'll have minus here. So this is the expression, this is the way we can write down if any of this complex number z1, z2, z3 are infinitive, then this cross ratio is expressed in this manner. One more thing I need to notice here is that if P of z we have considered as az plus b upon cz plus d, where we have taken this is AD minus BC is not equal to 0. The behavior of the bilinear transformation is not affected when you multiply some constant with A, B, C, D. So whatever the answer for this AD minus BC is there, so if I multiply that quantity here, then the behavior of the function, this bilinear transformation, is not changed. So that's why for the simplicity, we consider now az plus b upon cz plus d with AD minus BC is 1. So whatever this quantity will get, we divide both sides and then we multiply that constant quantity to this A, B, C, D. The behavior of the bilinear transformation is not changed. So that's why we can do that. Now we have defined the cross ratio, and from this cross ratio we have very good theorem. It says that under this bilinear transformation the cross ratio is invariant under. That means prove that the cross ratio is invariant under bilinear transformation. Invariant under means it is not changing. Let us start with considering the bilinear transformation as T of z is equal to az plus b upon cz plus d, where AD minus BC is not equal to 0. as we have discussed that it is not equal to 0, I am just considering this is equal to 1. Now Z1, Z2, Z3 are the any point in Z plane is there, and their images we are considering as P of Zk is equal to Wk, where this k is running from 1 to 3. What we need to prove that it is cross ratio is invariant under the bilinear transformation. So we shall show that, you know that the cross ratio is defined as above. So it is Z, Z1, Z2, Z3 P of Z, P of Z1, P of Z2 and P of Z3. Since each Zk is correspond to Wk, we'll do this. We'll start with now W minus Wk, where k is 1, 2, 3, any of the value you can take. Now what is W? It is A Z plus B upon Cz plus D. And what is Wk? It is the image of the point Zk. So it is A Zk plus B upon Czk plus D. If you simplify this, or you can take the LCM here, that is Z plus B into Czk plus D minus Cz plus D into Azk plus B upon Cz plus D into Czk plus D. Now you just multiply numerator. What you will get is ACZZk plus ABZ plus BCZk plus BD minus ACZZk minus BCZ minus ADZK minus BD upon the denominator term is as it is, Cz plus D into Czk plus D. Now what you have observed in this, AC into ZZk is cancelled out, BD is cancelled out, and from this two expression you just common out Z. So that's why it is AD minus BCZ, and the remaining term is this AD minus Zk and BC minus. So we'll have BC minus AD, Zk is common out, Cz D plus Czk plus D we can write down. This is, we can simplify as AD minus BC into Z minus Zk upon Cz plus D into Czk plus D. Now since we have AD minus BC, we have assumed that is equal to 1, so we'll have W minus Wk equal to Z minus Zk upon Cz plus D into Czk plus D. So this expression we can have. So since for each pair W and Z, we can have the same type of expression. So for example, what is W minus W1? We'll have, it is Z minus Z1 upon Cz plus K into Cz1 plus B. W minus W3, we can write down Z minus Z3 upon Cz plus D into Cz3 plus D, and it is W2 minus W1 also we can write down Z2 minus Z1 upon Cz2 plus D into Cz1 plus D. W2 minus W3 we can write down Z2 minus Z3 upon Cz2 plus D into Cz1 Z3 plus D. Now W minus W1 upon W1 minus W2 into W2 minus W3, W3 minus W we have. So just observe that in the numerator you will have this term and this term. and in the denominator you will have this 2. So just observe that in the numerator and the denominator, the C Z1 plus Z2 is cancelled with this, and C Z1 plus D is cancelled with this, Z2 plus is cancelled with this, and this will cancel with this one. So what is left is just Z minus Z1 upon Z1 minus Z2 into Z2 minus Z3 upon Z3 minus Z. So what is this is cross ratio of T of Z1 Z, T of Z, T of Z1, T of Z2 and T of Z3 equal to Z, Z1, Z2. That proves that the cross ratio is invariant under bilinear transformation. Also, we have very interesting results. It says that there exists a unique bilinear transformation which maps the 3 given distinct points to another 3 distinct points in that. So if such it is invariant, that's fine. And also we have that such bilinear transformations are unique bilinear transformations. So that is very interesting result that we have. It says that there exists unique bilinear transformation which map 3 given distinct points Z1, Z2 and Z3 in extended Z plane onto the specified distinct points W1, W2 and W3 in the extended W plane respectively. So we need to prove that there exists such bilinear transformation is there, and also we need to prove that it is a unique transformation. So if there is a 3 points are given, its image is also given is there, and you know that that transformation is a bilinear, then there will be a unique bilinear transformation which satisfying this condition. So the proof will starting with the cross ratio, application of a cross ratio. So let us consider that W is equal to T of Z is your required bilinear transformation, and the cross ratio of, we have already proved that it is invariant under cross ratio. So it is W minus W1 upon W1 minus W2 into W2 minus W3 upon W3 minus W equal to Z minus Z1 upon Z1 minus Z2 into Z2 minus Z3 upon Z3 minus Z. So this expression I may write down as W minus W1 into W2 minus W3 into Z minus Z2 equal to Z minus Z1 Z2 minus Z3 into W1 minus W2 into W3 minus W. Now for Z is equal to Z1, what will happen? If Z is equal to Z1, here I have forgot one expression Z3 minus Z. So just if you consider Z is equal to Z1, then this quantity Z is equal to Z1 is 0. Here you will have, see, we have Z is equal to Z1, which implies W equal to W1. Now what you get is, if Z is equal to Z1, then this side is 0. You have here it is W minus W1, W2 minus W3, which is different than 0. Z1 minus Z2 is also different than 0, and Z3 minus Z1 you will have here, that is also different from 0. So that's why it is W1 minus W2 has to be 0. So that's why W is equal to W1. And if Z equal to Z3 that you have, then this side will be 0, and here you have Z3 minus Z1, which is non-zero, Z2 minus Z3 is non-zero. This is W1 minus W2 is non-zero. So you will have W3 minus W is equal to 0. So that's why you will have W equal to W3. But this is not happening for the Z is equal to Z2. So what we'll have to do with the Z is equal to Z2, we'll start with this, and if Z is equal to Z2, what we can have here on this side, you have this term will get cancelled out, and this is also cancelled out. So finally what we have using this equation star, W minus W1 upon W1 minus W2 into W2 minus W3 upon W3 minus W equal to Z2 minus Z1 upon Z1 minus Z2 into Z2 minus Z3 upon Z3 minus Z2. You will get the answer for this one is minus 1 and into minus 1. So finally you will have 1. So hence what we can have, that is W minus W1 into W2 minus W3 equal to W1 minus W2 into W3 minus W. So you just observe that this expression has the unique solution if W equal to W2. So what we have proved here, it is we have proved that this Z1, Z2 and Z3 are mapped onto W1, W2 and W3 respectively. Okay. Now let us assume that f of z is the bilinear transformation that is equal to z minus z1 into z2 minus z3 upon z1 minus z2 into z3 minus z on this side here. So if you just multiply this inside, you will have z into z3 minus z1 into z2 minus z3 in the, you will have z3 into z1 minus z2 minus z into z1 minus z2. This is the things we have. So you just observe that this is az plus b upon cz plus d form. So it has to be ad minus bc is not equal to 0. Now you just observe that this is your a. So let us write down a z2 minus z3. This is your d, that is z3 z1 minus z2 minus of bc. B is this, but that minus minus become plus z1 z2 z3, and this is your c. Minus sign is already there, so that's why this will again become minus z1 minus z2. Now this quantity is common out, so therefore this will equal to z1 minus z2, z2 minus z3 into z3 minus z1, which is not equal to 0 because z1, z2 and z3 are the distinct points. So this function, as we have defined here, is defined as a bilinear transformation. So what we can say is there exists a bilinear transformation which is having this thing. We need to prove that the bilinear transformation is unique. By similar reasoning, what we can say is g of w will define as w1 minus w in upon w1 minus w2 into w2 minus w3 upon w3 minus w. We can write g of w equal to f of z, hence we can have w equal to g inverse of f of z. That means g of w is a bilinear transformation, that implies g inverse is also a bilinear transformation. Again, g inverse composed with f is also bilinear transformation because the composition of a two bilinear transformation is again a bilinear transformation. So hence we can say that there is a bilinear transformation is exist. Now the next thing we need to prove it is a uniqueness. So let us assume that there will be two transformations which transform the z1 as w1, z2 as w2 and z3 as w3. Another transformation is S, we are assuming, that is transforming these 3 points to their images. Now define this map S inverse of T. What is S inverse of T Z1? It is S inverse of T Z1 is W1 and T inverse of W1 due to this it is Z1. Same manner we can say that T inverse S inverse T Z2 is Z2 and S inverse of T Z3 is Z3. That means this S inverse of T is a bilinear transformation that has three distinct fixed points, but except identity map, there is no linear transformation which has more than two fixed points, because you know that this Z1 is gives to Z1, Z2 will gives you Z2 and Z3 will gives you Z3. That means this transformation S inverse of T has a three distinct fixed points, which is not possible because only identity map has the more than two fixed points. So hence this S inverse of T has to be identity. And similarly, one can also prove that T inverse of S is also identity, and therefore this S is equal to T will have, and therefore there is a unique transformation is there. So that completes the proof of that the 3 points are mapped onto, then it has a unique bilinear transformation is exist. Let's solve some of the example using this concept. So the example is that find bilinear transformation which maps Z1 is equal to -1, Z2 equal to 0 and Z3 is 1 onto W1 is equal to -I, W2 equal to 1 and W3 is I. So as we are putting this value into the cross ratio is W minus W1 upon W1 minus W2 into W2 minus W3 upon W3 minus W equal to Z minus Z1 upon Z1 minus Z2 into Z2 minus Z3 upon Z3 minus Z. Now let us substitute all this W1, W2, W3 values here. So we'll have this is W plus I upon W2, W1 is minus I minus 1 into W2 is 1 minus I upon I minus W. Here we'll have it is Z plus 1, Z1 is 1 minus 0, minus 1 minus 0 into Z2 is 0 minus 1 upon 1 minus Z. So finally, if you simplify the numerator, you will have W minus Wi plus I minus I square, that is plus 1. On the numerator also we multiply and simplify. The first term is minus I square, that will be plus 1, minus minus plus IW minus I plus W. On this side you will have Z plus 1 upon 1 minus Z. Minus 1 is cancelled out in the numerator and the denominator. Now from this I want to express what is W is equal to. So just using this dividendo and componendo rule, you just recall that what is dividendo componendo rule, that is A upon B is same as C upon D. Then we can write it as A plus B upon A minus B is equal to C plus D upon C minus D. So this is a dividendo componendo rule. We apply that one, so we can have this is W minus Wi plus I plus 1 plus 1 plus IW minus I plus W upon W minus Wi plus I plus 1 minus 1 minus IW plus I minus W. On the other side you will have Z1 plus Z plus 1 minus Z upon Z plus 1 minus 1 plus Z. Now if the boundaries that is Wi is cancelled out, I is cancelled out, so we left with 2W plus 2. In the denominator we left with this W will cancel out, we left with minus 2IW plus 2i. On the here we'll have it is 2 upon 2z. Hence finally we'll have it is w plus 1 upon iw minus iw plus I equal to 1 upon z. This is also we can write as w plus 1 upon w minus 1 equal to, if I common out this I and take it on the other side, minus I upon z. Now again I am applying this dividendo componendo rule because I want the expression in terms of w equal to. That's why it is w plus 1 minus w plus 1 plus w minus 1 upon w plus 1 minus w plus 1. Here you will have minus I plus z upon minus I minus z. So in the minus 1 is cancelled out, here w is cancelled out. So finally you will have it as w equal to z minus I upon minus I minus z, which is your required transformation, which transform to this given points to that points. That gives you one more example. Question is the same. Find the bilinear transformation which transform the z1 equal to 0, z2 equal to 1 and z3 equal to infinity onto w1 is equal to minus 1, w2 is minus I and w3 is 1. So here again using the cross ratio, what we can have it is w minus w1 upon w1 minus w2 into w2 minus w3 upon w3 minus w equal to z minus z1 upon z1 minus z2 into z2 minus z3 upon z3 minus z. Let's try to substitute the value except this z3 equal to infinity, because z3 is infinity, so we cannot substitute. If you can substitute, this is infinitive, this expression is infinitive upon infinitive form. What you have to do is we need to just divide by z3 into that expression, and all other things we'll just substitute. So we'll have w plus 1 upon, by substituting w1 is equal to minus 1. This is minus 1 minus w2, it is plus I into minus I minus w1, w3 is minus 1. So it is 1 minus w. Here you will have z minus 0 upon 0 minus 1 into z2 upon z3 minus 1 upon 1 minus z upon z3. Now if you take this limit z3 tends to 0 in this expression, and you simplify that expression, you will have it is numerator will gives you minus iw minus w minus I minus 1. Denominator you will have minus 1 minus minus plus w minus I minus iw. Here you will have z minus z, because this will be minus z and this will tends to 0. This is also tends to 0, and there is a minus sign is there, so that will become minus minus plus 1. And again using this dividendo componendo rule, because I want the expression in terms of w equal to, so the w equal to, if you want to calculate using the dividendo componendo rule, this is minus 1 plus w minus I minus iw upon minus iw minus w minus I minus 1 minus minus plus 1 minus w plus I plus iw. Here you have to take this z upon 1, so it is z plus 1 upon z minus 1. And you just observe this w is cancel out here. In the denominator you will cancel with this. 1 is cancel out. I is also cancel out. So you will left with minus 2iw minus 2I minus 2 upon minus 2w equal to z plus 1 upon z minus 1. So hence this will gives you iw plus I plus 1 upon w equal to z plus 1 upon z minus 1. And by simplifying this again, we'll have iw plus I plus 1 into z minus 1 equal to w z plus 1. So therefore it is iwz minus iw plus iz minus I plus z minus 1 equal to wz plus w. All the terms with the w will take on one side. So that's why we'll have w in bracket iz minus I minus z minus 1. All the other quantity will write down on the other side. So that's why it is 1 plus I minus z minus iz. So finally you will have w equal to 1 plus I in bracket 1 plus I into z upon you will have minus 1 minus I and just common out z from that, so you will have plus z I minus z. So this is the bilinear transformation which transform that points. This is the unique transformation we have. So there are many examples of such types are there. You may try for that and try to simplify those examples. I'm giving you one more example is to exercise that z1 equal to 0, z2 is equal to minus I, z3 is equal to 2I, w1 is 5I, w2 is infinitive, and w3 is I by 3. Find the bilinear transformation which maps this point onto that point. So again we need to calculate here the fixed point and also find the image of mod z less than 1 under whatever the transformation you found. So this is I am giving you as an exercise to do it. So question is find the bilinear transformation which transform to this point, also find its fixed points or invariant points, also find its the image of this point. This points that is mod z less than 1, which is a unit disk with center 0. So in this lecture we have did very important concept. It's called the cross ratio for the bilinear transformation. We have proved firstly that the cross ratio under the bilinear transformation is invariant. We also proved that there exists a unique bilinear transformation is possible to transform a 3 distinct points to another 3 distinct points. And using that we have solved lots of examples, and you can solve these examples by yourself also. Try to do it by yourself. So that's it for this video. If you like this video, please press the like button. If you have any comment, suggestion or a question, please drop down in a comment box below. See you in next video. Till then, bye bye. Sayonara.